Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today is Sunday, so you know what that means. We're going around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. So on the docket for today, we are losing another credit card, this time Mesa, who's trying to tackle home loans. We also have Hilton adding a new status, and weirdly enough, Sofi making their Plus membership significantly worse. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now batting leadoff with someone who's really developing a talent for making their own products worse is US Bank. Now, many of us have since moved into US Bank and moved out of US Bank since Smartly was basically just decapitated. However, if you're still over there and you're still utilizing a brokerage account, well, then this one is for you. I'll put it on screen for you, but here is the latest. Effective February 16th of 2026, important changes will be reflected in consumer pricing information may affect your rights. You can view this document on there. Basically what they're trying to say, the bottom part here is the U.S. Bank Smart Rewards benefit of 100 free trades per calendar year with a self-directed brokerage account exclusive through our affiliate U.S. Bank or investments will no longer be offered. Previously, if you had 100, I believe it was if you had the checking account, then you got 100 free trades for the brokerage account, because Smartly had kind of linked all their products together like this. There are still some folks who are grandfathered into the original Smartly terms, which would allow you to keep your 100K or whatever amount you had in your brokerage account to count towards the 4% carb. That's primarily who this is going to affect. So just be aware of that. Starting February, you will not get any more free trades if you are making trades over there. Seems silly, but I think this kind of just speaks to how little the products are being used, and they're really trying to increase or make up for those losses on fee income, and this is just another way to do it. It's an odd move given that the majority of these platforms offer free trades now, so for them to not offer free trades, bit silly, but it is their products. Whoever's left over there, again, just be aware of that. Now, onward is just the show is basically people just making poor decisions and ruining products. Now, we're being somewhat dramatic, but this next story is about the Chase Ritz Carlton card, one of the more underrated Marriott cards. Again, you can't outright apply for this, but you still can product change. Well, if you're using this card to get into lounges with all your friends, you're going to have to pick your favorite friends because they are restricting lounge access. So now we take a look at this. Starting January 15th, the Ritz Carlton credit card members, say that 3 times fast, and authorized users may enter Chase Sapphire lounges by the club and priority pass lounges with up to 2 guests each for no charge. Any additional guests will cost $27 each. To access a lounge, card members must present valid physical card. So previously this was unlimited. You could bring however many folks you want, which is, if you live next to a Sapphire Lounge or something like that, and you have a rather large family, or again, you're just very popular, that was quite the perk. I don't think this is the worst change in the world. You still get 2 guests. In some places, guest passes are very hard to come by, so I can see why they would make this change. Not terrible, but all the same, it does make life just a little bit harder for you super popular people. I don't know that I know 2 people who would want to come with me to a lounge, so that's not a problem for me, but hey, enjoy your friendships, people. Now, continuing on with our streak of losing things, this is an interesting one because this one was here and then it was gone very fast. That is the Mesa credit card. Didn't even get to do a video on it, and I said I was going to. So Mesa was the company going after home loans. They had a unique take on it where if you had to do enough spend on the card, I think it was $1,000 per month, and then they would, instead of just trying to use your credit card to pay for your mortgage, they would simply say, hey, give us your mortgage statement, and as long as you hit the monthly spend, we'll just credit you that many points for whatever your mortgage payment is worth, which was a neat approach to it. Well, they are no more, and they just disappeared overnight. We take a look, there are letters going out, but they put this on their website, which is really what you need to know. Effective as of December 12th, which is Friday. I'm taping this on the 13th, which is Saturday, so this was Friday that this happened. All Mesa homeowner card accounts are closed. All credit cards have been deactivated, and you are no longer able to make any new purchases or earn Mesa points. Please see the account closure notification sent by email. And so it basically says that the gist of it is, hey, you can't use your card anymore, it's closed, that whole thing. We don't need to read through it. This is enough. they do reference they'll reach out again and figure out what to do with the remainder of your points. It doesn't sound like they're going to keep the points. You're probably going to get them. I don't know how they're going to get them to you, but to be determined, I suppose. This is unfortunate. It's one of those things where one of the things I like about our little niche of finance is like finance is no shortage of you wouldn't think people in finance as creatives, right? However, we can come up with products, and this is another one in the sense that it's a simple concept, but I've never seen someone say, you know what, instead of just trying to figure out how to pay the mortgage with the credit card, I'll just give you the points based on your statement. Not a terrible idea. Well, I mean, apparently it wasn't. Not a terrible idea for us. Apparently it was a terrible idea for them. Didn't work out. So it's always a bummer to see products go like that when they try new things. It's also annoying if you were someone who opened up this account and you cost yourself a 524 slot. Again, 524 is like widely enforced by many different banks now. So this card hasn't been around for, I don't think, that long. So that's pretty annoying. Also, a good reminder of why you never want to just have one credit card. You want to have a wide range, I mean, at least minimum 2 to 3, but for them to just shut this down all of a sudden, I mean, imagine if this was like you were one card or you're one of 2 cards, like how they're just leaving you kind of high and dry there. So if we see anything else about the points, more, what is going to happen to them, of course, we'll cover it. I had considered this card, obviously not anymore, but such is life, I guess. So pour one out for another one. Now, continuing on, but this one isn't that bad. This time we're going to Robinhood Gold. Now, Robinhood Gold card, again, 3% card, from Robinhood if you're a Gold member. They are adding some new restrictions for what earns 3%, but I wouldn't freak out. This one is more than fair. In fact, I'm surprised they haven't had it called out already. Thank you to my friend on Discord who sent this in to me. But the rewards program has updated. We made changes to the redemption periods for rewards points upon account closure or program cancellation. We're adding, that part is fine. We're adding U.S. Mint coins and currency-like collectibles to our list of ineligible purchases. We made changes to improve clarity. So it's really the middle one. You can no longer buy mint coins or collectible currency-like collectibles, which I'm going to assume that means like coins at a coin shop, because you could always argue this is a historic coin or something like that. I'm surprised they didn't have this already. It's generally a broad sweeping thing that says cash equivalents. It probably just really spiked on their radar when the price of gold jumped up considerably, I'd imagine. People, buying gold bars is fun, but it's also common to buy them in coin. It's easier to store and manage and handle that whole thing. So that's what I'm going to guess happened. So I don't necessarily think this is a thing to freak out about. One of my favorite stories ever in the churning space was years and years ago, like the mid 2000s, where folks were buying, where the U.S. Mint wanted to get out silver dollars or something like that, and they were shipping them out for free and no processing fee. And so folks were buying the box full on their credit card and walking them right into the bank and like depositing them, or just turning into one of those coin machines or what have you, to just do manufactured spending that way. So the U.S. Mint, you think, wow, our dollar coins are so popular, People just, that's who it was. People buying them by the box full. That was when the golden age of this game, if you will. So there's that. Now, another note on the Robinhood Gold card, which we will talk about in a second again when we get to Sofi, is that I've seen reports that this card is going to be widely available for application come early next year. That's from a few folks talking to customer service and reporting back what they said. Obviously, this has been on wait list for quite some time. Then it was on Credit Karma as a product Credit Karma was selling, which was being funny, but not funny, I guess, because again, if you hadn't been on the wait list at all, you could just skip the line through an advert from Credit Karma. So now it might be opening up. I don't know. It's always borderline when a customer service rep is doing the one support or reporting these things, but either way, there you go. Now, if you're not a Robinhood Gold fan, if this puts you off of it, you might be considering Sofi Plus. Sofi Plus being their membership, which offers you more rewards depending on how much banking you want to do with SoFi. Some changes there and a new credit card. So originally SoFi Plus, and we'll put it on screen so you can see what you're getting. SoFi Plus, you could qualify by either paying them $10 a month or sending them a monthly direct deposit. Well, they are getting rid of that $10 that direct deposit portion. And now if you want to stay in SoFi Plus, it's just going to be $10 a month, no matter what, or like $120 a year if you want to do the math. So what you get, the biggest thing that you were getting was, I think the more popular one was the credit card. Their credit card was a flat 2%. It moved up to 2.2%. But again, you can see some of this stuff, they can value it however you want. They're putting their APY on there. I think I grabbed this screenshot before the rate cut, so that'll probably go down, but 3.6% rate. They're also offering, financial planning, more rewards. We talked about that. Some kind of discounts or credits if you were buying a house, things of that nature. So again, whatever those things are worth to you. But the main draw, I believe, would be the credit card. They're also rolling out a new credit card that is a wait list. Hopefully the wait list goes better than the gold card, and that is the new SoFi Smart Card, only with SoFi Plus. So this is paywalled behind their membership program. What we know about it right now is all we have from the promo material, which is it's going to get 5% cash back rewards at grocery stores. And that's pretty much it, which is not terrible. There's not a ton of cards that do that. I mean, it's pretty much the AAA Daily Advantage if you're going to play the cash back game, which is going to do 5% back at grocery stores. It also gets the nod because it does, for the time being, work at Walmart in person. So, I don't really see anything on this tier list, on these feature lists, that I would say it's worth $120 a year for me. I think the advantage they'll have over something like a Robinhood Gold is that SoFi is a real bank because they got a banking charter, and maybe folks don't necessarily see Robinhood Gold as a bank competitor because it's technically not a bank, though they do have banking partners. But if I look at this stuff, I mean, a lot, as I've always said, the home loan discounts and stuff like that. When I worked at Quicken Loans, you could have $500 off closing any day of the week, anytime you wanted it. So, I mean, I guess it's possible, but overall, I don't know if I would. For me, they would have had to move up the credit card to 2.5% back. Then you add in this grocery card, then maybe you're talking. I think that, but again, not everyone is going to go after a AAA Daily Advantage or even knows it's a thing. So I mean, it's possible. I'm just going to need to see more offerings from them. A lot of this stuff, I think you can find high APYs elsewhere. You can find discounts on borrowing elsewhere. You can find higher credit cards elsewhere. Or I don't know, 0.2 is enough to justify $120 a month. So I think they'll need to add to it. I think what they're playing on is the fact that, hey, we're a real bank, and out of the people offering discounts or actual relationship rewards, you've got Bank of America, which we've covered this in a Robinhood Gold focused video, that Bank of America is free. Their preferred rewards is free, but it takes a large amount of capital to qualify for it, $25,000. Is where this doesn't. Robinhood Gold's significantly cheaper. I think it's $50 a year. But again, I think SoFi's playing on the fact that, well, we're a real bank and they are not, so people might not consider them. I would go with Robinhood Gold personally if you were looking for a service. It's funny, I feel like I'm a big fan of Robinhood Gold, and I don't pay for it or use it for anything, but I do like what they're offering. Last thing I'll say is, unfortunately, this probably gives Robinhood Gold the go-ahead to raise up their price, and I do think that's how the Gold card ends up getting nerf, so to speak, is that they'll just raise up the membership price. But considering they have a slightly a percentage higher IRA match than SoFi, right now their APY is just 3.5, which is close enough. Plus they have the brokerage deal in the credit card. I still think Robinhood Gold is the no-brainer over this one, but we'll see. Have to see what they do. So there you go. Now, last one here is Hilton. We don't know a ton about this, but Hilton's status generally gets a good amount of attention. We talked about them a while back because they're adding Diamond Reserve, which, as you can see is on the screen here, is a tier above Diamond. Diamond being popular because it's given away if you purchase a Hilton Aspire card. Then now they have the Honor Society, which we don't know anything about that other than this is what they're going to have because we have the screenshots from Loyalty Lobby. But it is supposed to be invite only. It's very similar, like Marriott has one called Cobalt that's invite only, generally reserved, I think, for your famous people, who they want to be there and want to stay. So eventually, I'm sure someone will get out the details of how you get invited to the Honor Society, but I'm thinking it's going to be along those lines. You'd have to have hit Lifetime Diamond or the diamond reserve, and then be spending tons of money, and even then being spending tons of money than being someone who we want to be seen and associated with the brand at that level. It is interesting that this does technically push diamond down to the mid tier, as we're just a few months ago. I think there's always lifetime diamond, right? But I don't know that that's that much different. Someone can keep me honest. I don't know if it's that much different than diamond. I think it's you've just been at diamond for so long, plus so much spend. But regular diamond is more than sufficient. But this does push diamond and the Hilton Aspire down, and I do wonder if that changes. I don't think it will, but I wonder if that changes the value prop of the Hilton Aspire a little bit. I do think it's more painful to the Amex Platinum, which, not to make it an anti-platinum video, but I've always said the problem with the Platinum is the statuses for Marriott and Hilton have not progressed as the fee has progressed. But there's that conflict of interest, because if I'm Hilton, well, sure, but I want you to I'd rather you buy my product versus the Platinum card. So of course I'm going to save my status for my card. So there's a little bit of conflict of interest there. So I do think it hurts that more, because it technically kind of pushes everything down. Granted, I don't think Honor Society is going to affect the vast majority of people, but it is interesting to see it on an actual chart. I don't think there'll be a credit card related thing for Honor Society. I think that will be truly invite only. But I will say now, with the addition of an invite only status, I would give it a year or two max before you can somehow get to Diamond Reserve, or either that way. I don't think it'll maybe be outright sold on a credit card, but they might come up with another tier above Aspire, and then that card would help you with spend to qualify for Diamond Reserve, much like we see airline cards. Well, the airline cards won't give you status, but they will, the amount of spend you do goes to your medallion qualifying dollars, or whatever the airline of choice calls it. I can see them doing something like that. So there you go. I don't know, this is a particularly fun episode, because I go through the list here, and we really took it on the chin as a community. Whether you like to travel, you like cash back, you like trading, I don't know if anyone won in this episode. I mean, I won because you watched and made it to the end, so as long as I win, I mean, that's really it, right? I hope you have a better weekend, though. Maybe you'll find another place to win. Maybe your football team will win. Anyways, that'll do it for the news. So, of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. So we're posting content just like this every single week. And, of course, we're right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance, and every single day over on profitablecontent.com, the channel's blog. Always linked down below for you, and on the channel homepage. We know we'll post the latest news stories, plenty of bank promotions. That's how you can win. Go do some bank promotions. Get ready to gear up for 2026 earnings season, and of course we have credit card offers as well. Anyways, guys, that'll do it for this one. As always, thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.